How's it going, YouTube? This is Mr. Gaming for Fun coming at you with another deck profile, and as you can see, this is not a Yu-Gi-Oh related one. We actually have a Dragon Ball one. For the last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks, I've had a lot going on. My birthday, my wedding anniversary, and the new ban list, which I think I posted a video on that, where we got, or actually I don't think I posted one. If I did, I did, whatever. But was getting into another card game. One buddy got me hooked on it, really excited about it, and so I had to find a deck that I liked, and one thing I got was the Ultimate box. So we ended up getting one of these, and out of all the cards in there, there's a leader, which I'll be explaining that later. There's a leader, Son Goku, right here, and then turns out in the game when you have low life, they awaken themselves, and you get mastered Ultra Instinct Son Goku as your boss. And just to go along with it, I got the mat, and I know this one is a $200 card. That one is on my wish list. If I ever get a chance to get it, I'll put it in the deck. But this is the deck I plan on making, but I can't afford all the cards right now, so it's gonna happen over time. So the deck instead that I got to make with some friends helping me and everything, I ended up making a World Announcer deck, or a World Tournament deck, and you got the announcer as your leader. And so for those that don't play the Dragon Ball game, I know you guys were watching the Yu-Gi-Oh profiles. This is kind of like Pokemon, where you get the life on the side, and anytime you take damage, you get one to your hand. Similar to that. And so you start with 8, and when it gets 4 or below, your leaders all have the same effect. They can make themselves awaken, and that's where they flip. And that's where you got him. And I chose World Announcer as my starting deck because he's one of the OG guys that always made me happy just to see him, especially if you watch Dragon Ball during the World Martial Arts Tournament, and I think the Buu Saga. He sees Goku and them and says, "Hey, welcome back, good to see you. Now I know there's gonna be a real exciting fight." He's just one of my favorite guys, and ended up getting the deck after one of my friends, the one who got me into the game. His name shares a lot with me too, because his name's Matthew. Just one thing I've learned with every game shop is I'll find tons of Matthews. So if I mention a Matthew, I'll say Yu-Gi-Oh Matt or Dragon Ball Matt. Just don't be thinking I'm my own best friend. I meet people and it turns out I'm just making them up. But anywho, we're gonna start with this. And another thing I like about this game is instead of 3 copies for the maximum, you can have 4. Then let's see, the total count is 50 per deck. No ifs, ands, or buts. Every deck is the same amount. And so on top of that, it's similar to Magic, where you can use the cards as energy, like mana, but it's not specific cards being the energy. It's the battle cards, which they're called. Those are the monsters, or the extras, which are like kind of like spells or counter traps. Or sorry, spells or traps. So let's start this off. We've got 4 copies of Announcer Ever Curious. What this announcer does is whenever you play a World Tournament card or a battle card, you draw a card. So he's a auto draw when you play it once per turn. And then Announcer Ever Curious right here, which if I had let's see, yep, I got 4 copies. There's this guy, which you look into the top 7 cards of your deck, add 1 with World Tournament, and then add it to your hand. And I forgot to mention with this guy, you can only play cards with World Tournament in the name. And the name is like down here. Now you guys can't probably see if it's blurry or not, but every card in this deck is World Tournament except for the extra cards, which that is allowed. That's not a problem. And then his other ability, because with all these cards you have 5 colors. You have green, blue, red, yellow, and black. Each of them will require you to have certain colors, and you'll see that on later colors I'll point out. But what he does is he allows your World Tournament cards to not require specific colors. And that's what I really liked about the deck. That's what the Goku card I showed you as well. Same similar effect. So you don't have to pay the exact color cost. And that's what I like. And this guy, I think I already said, look at the top 7 cards, get a World Tournament, add it to the hand. And then we're going to go to Announcer Play-by-Play Pro. This one, when you summon him, you draw 2 cards, or you can counter. His draw 2 cards is during your turn if you bring him out, or during the opponent's turn you can use his effect. He'll negate an attack. And so if you do it on your turn, you end up drawing 3 cards total if he's the first World Tournament, because the leader plus him, 2 plus 1 is 3, there you go. This is the one that I need one more copy of for the deck to make me happy, because just as much drawing as possible. I know Yu-Gi-Oh would probably be having a major aneurysm just because of all the extra draw power in Dragon Ball. After that, we've got the World Tournament Arena itself. Now this one's a field spell, so to speak. You put it on the side of your battle area, and then once per turn you can tap it and turn it sideways, and you pick up to 2 of your World Tournament cards, and you give them an extra 5,000 attack for just the battle cards. Yeah, you can't use it on your leader. Kind of stinks, but hey, that's part of it. After that, now we're getting into the bulk of the deck. We've got Trading Blows Son Goku, which starting off, again, this is a one I want one extra copy of. But if you summon this, and it's like your first turn, and your opponent has 5 cards in their hand, then they lose a card. And because you have that World Tournament announcer guy, you draw a card. So it's a +2 in a way. You draw a card, they lose a card. Then after that, I've got 1 copy of each Master Roshi and Master Shen. This is mainly draw power. These guys, when I get the cards I want for the deck, I'll be taking them out. But what they do is, you tap one and tap the other, and each of them allow you draw a card. So if you use Roshi to tap him, you draw a card. And then while he's tapped, you can use his ability to tap this one to draw another card. I know the whole draw power is more on the announcer part. That's why I'm willing to take those guys out later. They were just there to fill up the deck. After that, we're running 2 Tiny Rivals Son Goten and 2 Tiny Rival Trunks. I know I just flipped the names on each of the cards I brought out. They both have the same effect. Well, critical, which if this card attacks the opponent, they send that card, the life card that they lose, to the grave and not add it to their hand. And he's got barrier where he's immune to card effects. And then their permanent effect is they each gain 5,000 and double strike. So instead of damaging for 1 to the leader, they'll damage for 2. And they become 20,000 when they are both on the field, which is nice. I've got 2 Heroic Duo Videl. I'm not running the Gohan because I don't want to use it. This one's your negate attacker, just like the announcer. You pay 1, negate the attack, play her onto the field. If that Gohan was in my deck and I played it, she'd gain 9,000, making her a 10,000 person, but not using it. So then I'm running my super combos, which I'm running 3 top of his game Son Gohan and future martial artist Son Goku. The only reason is I don't have a 4th of this, and they have the same effect basically, especially with the World Announcer, making them the non-cost. So on this one you'll see like 2 blue up here for the 2, and then with that Goku you'll need 2 yellow to be able to play him. But thankfully with World Announcer, if I want to bring him to the field, I don't have to pay the color cost. And what these guys do are, when you're in a battle, you can choose to combo with cards, which on the side of the card right here, it'll say like plus whatever. Now these guys have 0, but when you fulfill the requirements of 5 or less life, and your leader is a World Tournament, they each become 10,000. So if you used all these 4 in one battle, that'd be an extra 40,000 to their power. And after that, let's see, I've got my favorite part of the deck. The reason why I want to make it was, as you can see with the Master Shen and Roshi and Goten and Trunks, the cards end up combining to make a big picture. And I am using 4 of the Vegetas, and I did get some extra cash to get these fancy versions from from friends who were able to help me out on this. And I did get the Goku. So you got Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Goku. And what they do is, what you're going to do, you're going to have each of them in your hand. You summon out Vegeta. And then you pop one of your other monsters. And then your opponent cannot activate blockers, which those are if you attack someone, they turn a different card. You can only attack that one. So he doesn't let your opponent do it. And they each have triple strike, which if they attack the opponent, they inflict 3 times the amount of damage they would take. And so the reason I like this combo is you pop a card and then you get this Goku for free. He just brings himself out if you do not have any other copies of him on the field. And what I like to do is I'll summon one, which brings out this first one. I'll bring out second Vegeta, pop that Goku and bring out the second one, just so I can bring out as many guys. But by the time you get the first 2 pairs, you should have already won the game. I found stall decks that I like to play against, and that's where I just abuse the first Vegeta to keep popping those Gokus. Or if I have announcers or trading blow Gokus, I'll pop those, and this way no blockers. And then the next turn I'll summon another Goku, because you can't summon one Goku if one's on the field. After those cards, we've got another play set of each. It's Trading Blows, or not Trading Blows, a Test of Strength Goku, and a play set of Test of Strength Oob. Again, another combo picture. You summon the Goku, he's got double strike, and if you have Oob in your hand when he's played, you summon him without paying the cost, and then they each become 20,000 for the turn. Again, if you bring these 2 out, you probably might have already won the game. He's got double damage, he's got critical, where instead of adding the life to your hand, you send it to the grave. And they're just good to kind of span the field, especially when you only have to pay 3 for 2 cards. After that, we've got the Son Goku and Oob, which this was probably the most expensive card of the deck at $12, not counting how each of the cards are play sets. And so this one right here has double strike, which is double damage. It can attack twice with that dual attack. And let's see, this way you guys can actually see the full picture. Dragon Balls will be there for them. That's the little quote with all 7 of them. But double strike, dual attack. So if this was able to attack the leader, it would do 4 damage. And it does have the word ultimate in it, which means you can only have 1 copy of the specific card per deck. And from what my buddy told me, you can have multiple cards with ultimate as long as it's 1 each. There's the Goku card right here that I want. He's got ultimate as well, but I'm not going to be playing a Goku and Oob deck. Nothing like that. Now his ability is, if the permanent is, if your leader card is World Tournament, which he counts as that, you can reduce the cost if there are 6 cards or more in both your energy and your opponent's energy. Decrease this by 2. So instead of being an 8, it becomes a 6. And then the auto effect is, if he attacks, choose up to 1 card each from your opponent's life and energy. Place them at the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. So it's basically, I want to say, a triple attack, because they're losing a life going to the bottom of the deck, and then they lose 2 life from the actual attack itself. And so threw it in there just to complete the deck. Then for the rest of the cards, I'm running 4 Objection. This one just adds more energy onto your field. This is probably one I'd take out because I end up using it as an energy itself. but I gotta practice some more. Still new to the game, so. Then the last 3 cards to make it an even 50, we've got 3 sensu beans. And with this one, it's if a card is in a battle, it gains 5,000 attack, and then you pick up you pick 2 energy from your energy area and turn them to active mode. Which, if you have like 5 of them and only 4 are active, you take one out, then you revive that one and the 5th one that you or the one that was already used back up, and you restock on your energy. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is the deck I'll be playing until I get the rest of the Universe 7 Goku cards or Goku deck that I want to build. And I will see you later. I've got another deck profile coming up for my wife's deck, the one she's been kicking my butt at. So hope you guys really enjoy seeing that one. So have a good one.